Greetings, it's your pal, your friend, your teacher, ABW. So the question arises in so many different various forms, and in so many words. The question arises something along the lines of I'll use the word optimize. I'll say optimize. How can I optimize my social media profile, my Facebook, my Instagram, so that I am portrayed in an attractive manner? I'm putting an image out there that is as universally attractive as possible. First, I'm going to tell you the internet game is so saturated. It's very helpful. It's very useful. It is a viable vehicle. I harken back to the days of MySpace and even earlier, where it was a lot easier it was less people, but it was a lot easier to meet women. Once again, we've touched on the fact that women are guarded nowadays. They're more guarded, more aware, more savvy than ever. So you have to traverse these rough terrains of filth that is proliferating the canvas of the internet, particularly when it comes to putting yourself as a prospect for dating, for casual situations, for sex, for relationships, for marriage, to make yourself a desirable person. A Mack. What is a Mack? A man of aptitude, charm, and knowledge. So again, how do you make sure your profile is as attractive and as appealing as possible? First off, the less is more approach works here. Leave some mystery to yourself. Present yourself as a man at all times, as much as possible. Not a macho man. Not, for lack of a better term, a douchebag. Not a cocky, arrogant, so-called alpha male. Social media is not for posturing. It's not it's not for spilling your soul. I don't know. There's so many misuses of social media that I could say that is not becoming of a man who's trying to be attractive. Now, if you don't care, then you don't care. But if you're, like I said, you're asking me, and the question has been asked in so many different various forms. How do I make sure my Facebook profile, my Instagram profile, my Tinder, Kick, whatever, I don't know, whatever. I'm not even up to date on everything. I know I'm aware, but I don't use everything. Again, I'm married, so that's not a part of my life anymore. But I'm very aware. I know there are various principles and universal rules that just always apply. Once again, less is more. You don't need a whole lot of flashy show-off pictures. Put the money down. Don't have the money to your ear. Put your shirt on. The excessive number of memes. You don't have to comment on everything. You don't have to start beefs with people. You don't spill your private information and try to cover it up Uh, for example, don't talk about, oh, my friend did this, or don't talk about things that people that are close to you know what you're talking about. And don't try to cover. Just leave it. Just if you have to disguise what you're talking about, or if you have to be very cryptic in what you're saying, just don't post it. I watch a lot of NFL, um, or a lot of Sports Center, and Herm Edwards talks about the NFL players don't hit send when they tweet things like that. Don't hit send. So again, you don't need a whole lot of. You don't need a whole lot. The less that you have, the more impactful that it will be. Um, the pictures, be very, very judicious in your pictures. Have good take good pictures. Be aware of that. Be cognizant of that. And the pictures that you do post, make sure they're quality. You have good lighting. Optimize it. Make sure your profile picture is a good thumbnail. If you have a good body, post something of your post a workout picture. Post one with you with no shirt. Okay, go ahead. If you want to post one, if you have your basketball shorts or your gray sweatpants on, and you want to show off your little, don't be. Watch your level of of douchiness, please. If women like good-looking men, but they don't want it to be just thrown in their face, and that's most people, because they love to they love to deflate the air out of some guy's ego. Be humble. Keep the keep keep the naked pictures the keep that down to a minimum if you want to attract the right type of females. Um, maybe a shirtless pic here and there if you have make sure you have the right body. Just because you just started hitting the gym and you have a few muscles here and there, I'd strongly advise against the shirtless picture. That's just me. If you have a nice body and you take a picture of you in a shirt and the shirt is form fitting, a woman will know that you have a nice body. Or that's all women love nice bodies, but they don't want it to be thrown in there. They don't want it to be so obnoxious with it, because that is a turnoff. Okay, just be honest. That's a turnoff. If you have a nice body, if you're wearing clothes that fit you, which you should be doing anyway, because um, you're displaying your charm in that way. And you have the knowledge, which a Mack has, and the aptitude to pull it off through your clothing, wear clothing that fits. Then a woman will know. Okay, he has a nice chest. I see his chest. I see his arm. That will show. Six pack, whatever. You know, don't be douchey with it, please. If you want to do it before, if you have a before and after pic to where you're showing your progress and something like that, make it about that. Don't just show you off your chest just to be showing off your chest. And you're talking to a guy who has me myself. I have a very nice physique. I'll just say it, okay. But I don't go around showing off my body. I just don't. My body shows through what clothes that I wear that fit me nice, and when the opportunity arises, or when I was single, when the opportunity arose, if we were texting or something like that, she's like, send me a picture. Then you can go ahead exercise some good judgment on whether or not at that point you want to play it coy and be like, no, I don't send pictures like that, or you can just be bold and go ahead and send a shirtless picture. If you want to send it with your face in it, that's solely up to you. I'm not a fan of of very compromising pictures with my face in them. But that's up to you. But point is, for the social media profile, you're better off keeping the shirt on. That's one aspect. Again, the memes, keep the memes down to a minimum. Um, Show a little vulnerability, show a little insight. More than anything, show your ambition. You should be showing that you're a man who's going after things. If you already have things, if you're one of those guys who have it together, you got the job, you got the money. Show the willingness to help other people. Show the willingness to not be in your comfort zone. Show the willingness to be humble. Show that somehow through your pictures, through your captions, through your posts. Be as accessible and as relatable and as down to earth as possible. You want to be somebody that a woman looks at. Now, if you want to show every now and again, and we can go further in depth in my book, The Definitive Mack Manual. I will go more in depth into how you can pick and choose your spots where you can hit those buttons to where you let a woman know that you are on a different level. You are somebody to be desired after. You're not normal. You're exceptional. And there's ways you can display that, and you can be confident. You can show a little cockiness. There's ways you can do that, and I can go further in depth on that. That is a part of your social media right as a person who's trying to be as attractive as possible. That's there. But for the most part, you want to be humble, because that should be a virtue that you're trying to attain after anyway. That should be a mindset that you're working on after, because when you're dealing with women, if you're out there on the prowl and you're trying to, some guys their objective is to bed as many women or keep a steady roster. If that's the case, you're gonna get rejected. And so that the mindset that you have to have is that I'm not all that. No one guy has it all. I've been with enough women, interacted with enough women to know that the most dominant alpha male that there is desperately insecure about something. He has some glaring flaw that is a huge turnoff to somebody, to multiple women. It's something that they need to work on. That is the case with every man. Every man has something in them that is wild, that can be wildly attractive, that can push the right button on any woman. Every guy has that. So part of your journey is finding that. Part of your journey is playing to your strengths and not being afraid of your weakness. But not being a victim to your weakness. And all that can be displayed through your social media. That is like an extension nowadays. If you do it right, it's an extension of who you really are. You don't have to fake. You don't have to give everything either. So if you're a baller or something like that, you already got the money. Show how you got there. Show the ambition. Show the behind the scenes. Don't just show the fruits. Show the work. And be honest about it. Be humble about it. Be helpful about it. That's sexy to women. If you're on the grind, if you're trying to get it, show that. Be honest about it. Be vulnerable about it. If you're spiritual, show that. Some women like that. A lot of women like that. Sexy. Dive deep. Show off Be sincere about it. I mean, there has to be sincerity. You know, you want to post some poetry, some obscure music, do that. You want to display your sense of humor. Humor always wins. Humor always wins. So if you can show that you're funny, you don't take life too seriously, you don't take yourself too seriously, you can convey that through your social media, you'll win. Don't put yourself out there like you're... Now, if you have your Facebook, your Instagram, or whatever, don't set it up like it's a dating site. Now, if you're on a specific dating site, then yeah, that's different. Maybe we'll talk about that another time. But I'm talking about just general social media. Don't set it up like... Don't have your profile looking like, okay, I'm open for a date. You know, I'm open for, you know, come and get me. No. That's not it. You're living your life. You're living your life. And you're putting out the bait you're putting out the sweet smelling bait that doesn't look like poison. Now, I'm not saying that to get with you is poison, but you know, you want to reel women in an organic way. You want them to come to you you want them to be in your inbox because of who you are and because of what they see, the genuineness that they see. And then at the same time, you don't want to put it out there like you're... It's a turnoff for a guy who puts it out there like he's playing the whole world. No. Live your life on your social media and then let the chips fall where they may. Basically what I'm saying is you don't want to have your thumbprint on every woman's profile, commenting on every little picture that they post, having women write on your wall or you're writing on women's wall. You don't want that. You don't want it to be like you're just a man all about town with every woman, because that will repel a lot of women. They like the competition, but then they don't. Make it look like you're... Be a man in motion, to where your main focus is not... Where it doesn't appear your main focus is to get women. Though it might be. Your main objective in life might be to get women. But that can't be what it looks like. You have to be you got to be covert about your intentions. So yeah, man, disguise your whoreness, okay? Disguise your horniness. Don't look desperate. Definitely don't want to look desperate on social media in any way. Be very nonchalant. Nobody should know your everyday moves. Nobody should know who you're talking to. It should be a total mystery of who are you giving it to, who are you talking to, until it gets to be that time to where it's relationship status change. And then when in your relationship, nobody needs to know the details of that. Okay? Nobody needs to know the inner workings of your marriage if it gets to that point. So that's where social media is. If you have any other questions about that, if I missed anything, I can touch on this again. We can dive deeper into it. So again, this is your friend and teacher, ABW. Y'all take care. God bless.